Welcome to HFY Galaxies, where the unknown meets the extraordinary. In this vast expanse of stars and mysteries, humanity stands at the threshold of something monumental, a journey that could reshape the galaxy itself. This channel explores the untold stories of human courage, resilience, and the never-before-seen alliances that could challenge the long-standing powers of the universe. From epic space battles to hidden technologies, the fight for freedom is just beginning. Are you ready to discover what lies beyond the stars? Join us on this incredible adventure, and let's unravel the mysteries of the cosmos together. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment below. Your thoughts could be the spark for our next great discussion. The silence in space is suffocating. The astral Voyager, a ship once full of life and ambition, now drifts aimlessly in the cold void. The hull is battered, scarred by time, and the faint hum of the failing power systems is the only sound that breaks the overwhelming stillness. Desperate distress signals have been sent, but there has been no response, only silence. Commander Zalor walks slowly down the narrow, dimly lit corridor of the ship. His once radiant blue scales have dulled, the color fading as time has worn him down. His body is weak from months of inadequate nutrition, and his face is etched with exhaustion. He hasn't slept in days. His movements are slow and heavy, each step a reminder of the inevitable end. His mind is filled with a burden of leadership, knowing that the fate of his crew rests in his hands. As he reaches the entrance to the central chamber, his eyes scan the room. 12 survivors remain from the original 30. The rest have either perished in the initial explosion or died from the cruel effects of space's unforgiving environment. The survivors sit or lie on the cold, hard floor, their bodies frail and gaunt from hunger and exhaustion. Their faces are hollow, their eyes distant, staring into nothingness. The air is thick with the weight of impending death. Zalor moves towards one of the survivors, Dr. Oren, the ship's doctor, who is tending to a young technician with a fever. The technician's body trembles, her skin cold and clammy, as she lies motionless on the floor. Dr. Oren's face shows the strain of someone who knows there is little more that can be done. Zalor kneels beside them, his voice quiet but filled with the weight of what he knows is coming. Zalor. How much longer, Oren? Dr. Oren, softly. Stable, for now. But without medicine, she won't last. Zalor nods, the grief momentarily flickering in his eyes before he stands. He turns away from the technician and faces the remaining crew. The weight of his responsibility presses down on him, the weight of knowing he is their only hope, though that hope is quickly fading. For 3 long cycles, they've done everything they could. They've sent out signal after signal into the darkness, hoping for a response that never came. They've tried to repair the failing engines, rationed their dwindling supplies, and held on as long as they could. But space is a cruel and unforgiving place. Their mission had taken them far from the safety of known space, deep into a region where even the Galactic Council feared to tread. Now, they are stranded, abandoned to die in the cold silence of the void. Zalor walks slowly toward the command console, where the emergency systems flicker weakly to life. The console hums faintly, its lights dim and flickering, struggling to stay active. Zalor presses a few buttons, preparing to record the final log of the astral Voyager. Zalor, stoically. Final log of Commander Zalor, astral Voyager. Cycle 457. Our situation remains critical. Life support will fail within the next 20 hours. No response has been received from any of our distress signals. The crew has shown great strength, enduring these harsh conditions. His hand hovers over the console for a moment. A sense of finality fills the air as he contemplates his next words. Is there anything else to say? Anyone who might hear these final words? His voice softens, tinged with regret. Zalor, softly. I believe our mission was sabotaged. The damage to our engines was too precise. Too calculated. Someone wanted us to fail. But why? The artifacts we discovered, the truth, it must be known. As he speaks, a crackle comes from the communication system, an unexpected interruption. A faint voice breaks through the silence, a human voice. It's distant, but clear enough to carry across the dead air of space. Human voice, overcomes. Celestial Seeker, this is Captain Caden Miles of the Valiant Horizon. We've received your distress signal. Hold tight, we're coming to get you. The silence is deafening. The Astral Voyager, once a proud symbol of Zendhari's science and exploration, now lies cold and lifeless. Its corridors are shadowed, the air thick with the stale, metallic scent of decay. The ship is dying, and with it, the hopes of its crew. The emergency lights flicker weakly above, casting dim shadows that stretch unnaturally across the walls, like the last remnants of light in a dying world. Commander Zalor moves slowly through the still ship, his steps heavy with the weight of his responsibility. The once vibrant halls now feel oppressive, filled with memories of a time when ambition and excitement fueled the crew's every action. Now, the halls are eerily quiet. The stars outside the viewport, distant and uncaring, remain unchanged in the cold, endless void. Zalor's eyes, once full of the fire of exploration, are now tired, filled with the knowledge that the end is near. He walks toward the command console, the place where their journey began, where the spark of hope and discovery once burned brightly. Now, it is the place where he must record the final log, his last duty as the commander of the Astral Voyager. With a sigh, he reaches out, pressing his hand against the console. The faint glow from the flickering screen casts a soft light on his face, highlighting the deep lines of fatigue and sorrow etched into his features. He pauses, staring at the screen. His fingers hover above the console, trembling slightly, as if unsure whether to continue. His mind drifts back to the beginning of this mission when the Astral Voyager was full of life, when the crew was excited and optimistic. They had set out to uncover the greatest mysteries of space, to study phenomena that could change the course of the galaxy. But now, all that is left is a dying ship and a few survivors clinging to the faintest hope. With a deep breath, Zalor begins to speak, his voice steady but tinged with regret. Zalor, calm but regretful. Final log of Commander Zalor, Astral Voyager, Zendhari's science vessel. Cycle 457. Our situation remains critical. Life support will fail within the next 20 hours. No response has been received from any of our distress signals. The crew has shown great strength under these dire conditions. We have upheld the highest traditions of our people. His voice falters slightly as he speaks, the weight of his words pressing heavily on him. He lowers his gaze, taking a moment to compose himself before continuing. The silence of the ship presses in around him, broken only by the occasional hum of the failing systems, a reminder of their dwindling time. The words fall into the stillness of the command center, heavy with the knowledge that this might be the last message to ever echo through the void. The Zendhari are known for their strength, their unwavering commitment to science and exploration. But now, in the face of certain death, that strength is fading. Zalor's crew, once confident in their mission, now wait in quiet resignation, knowing their fate is sealed. Zalor takes a deep breath, his chest rising and falling as he struggles to find the right words. He glances at the screen before him, but his mind drifts away from the data. His thoughts turn inward, to the growing sense that something more sinister lies behind their failure. The damage to their engines was too precise, too calculated. The more he thought about it, the more he believed their mission had been sabotaged. But why? Zalor, softly, as if speaking to himself. I believe our mission was sabotaged. The damage to our engines was too precise, too calculated to be an accident. Someone wanted us to fail. His voice cracks as the bitter truth settles in. He pauses, and for a brief moment, his mind wanders to the artifacts they discovered. What had they found? What was it about those relics that had sparked such animosity? He shudders at the thought that their mission, one that was meant to be a breakthrough in galactic science, had now become the catalyst for something far darker. Zalor, low, filled with doubt. I suspect it relates to the artifacts we discovered. The truth must be known, but... The room feels colder, the silence deeper. Zalor's words hang in the air, unanswered and full of uncertainty. He knows that whatever they discovered, it has the potential to change everything. But as the words leave his mouth, a sudden crackle from the communication system interrupts the silence. It's faint at first, just a buzz, but then it becomes clearer, more distinct. A human voice breaks through the emptiness, cutting through the stillness like a sudden spark in the darkness. As Zalor begins to reveal the true nature of their mission, a dark thought lingers in his mind. He had felt the weight of something greater than just a failed mission, a conspiracy that could reshape the galaxy's balance of power. But just as his final words fall into the abyss of space, a voice cuts through the static, bringing with it a glimmer of hope. Human voice, overcomes. Astral Voyager, this is Captain Caden Miles of the Valiant Horizon. We've received your distress signal. Hold tight, we're coming to get you. Zalor freezes. His heart races as the words filter into his mind. His crew, who had been motionless, their spirits dimming by the minute, now stir with renewed life. There is a flicker of disbelief, followed by a surge of hope. The humans, newcomers to the stars, a species once seen as too primitive by the Xanthri, had answered their call when no one else had. Zalor, still shaken, stumbles toward the communication console, his hand shaking. His voice catches in his throat as he gestures for Dr. Lyriel, the ship's science officer, to take control. She hurries forward, her movements sharp and determined, despite the fatigue that has set in. Dr. Lyriel, breathing with excitement. We read you, Earth vessel. Our situation is critical. In that moment, Zalor realizes that this simple communication, this voice, might be the only thing standing between them and the cold abyss of space. The ship, once a symbol of progress and ambition, now drifts silently through space, its once bright corridors now shrouded in darkness. The Astral Voyager is a tomb, its very existence hanging by a thread, as its crew waits, their bodies frail and spirits dimming with each passing moment. Commander Zalor stands at the helm, his face weary, eyes staring out into the cold void of space. The emergency lights above flicker weakly, casting faint shadows, almost as if the ship itself were giving up. Zalor's hand rests on the COMM system, his fingers cold as he considers the long, slow death they all face. The ship's systems are failing, its engines cold and silent, and their distress signals have gone unanswered for what feels like an eternity. The Xanthri had waited for salvation from their own people, but it never came. And now, as they approach the end, there is nothing but the stillness of space to comfort them. But just as despair begins to settle in, something changes. A voice, distant but strong, breaks through the silence. Human voice, overcomes. Astral Voyager, this is Captain Caden Miles of the Valiant Horizon. We've received your distress signal. Hold tight, we're coming to get you. Zalor freezes. His mind, clouded by exhaustion and disbelief, struggles to process what he's just heard. The sound of the human voice, steady and full of purpose, fills the room, shattering the heavy silence that had reigned for so long. His hand trembles as he grips the COMM system, his heart racing in disbelief. For the first time in 3 long cycles, he feels a flicker of hope, a spark that he thought had long since died. The crew stirs. There's a brief moment of disbelief, followed by a wave of energy that surges through the room. Crew members, once too weak to move, now stir with renewed life. Their faces, gaunt and weary, slowly shift from expressions of resignation to something else, something they hadn't allowed themselves to feel for a long time: hope. The kind of hope that only the promise of rescue can bring. Zalor moves slowly toward the COMM panel, his legs shaky, but his heart pounding with a newfound energy. He gestures for Dr. Oren, the ship's doctor, to take control. Dr. Oren, equally stunned, moves to the console with quick, determined steps, though her exhaustion is apparent in her every movement. Dr. Oren, breathing with excitement. "We read you, Earth vessel. Our situation is critical." The words hang in the air, heavy with the weight of the situation. For the first time, the astral Voyager feels alive again. Its crew, once resigned to their fate, now filled with a surge of energy. They can hear the words clearly, yet still, part of them struggles to believe it. Humans, considered a fledgling race, new to the stars and unproven in the eyes of the Galactic Council, have come to their aid. Not the Zentari, their own people, but humans, a race thought too young, too inexperienced for the vastness of the galaxy. Yet here they are, answering a distress signal that no one else would. Zalor, still in disbelief, whispers to himself, almost as if trying to convince his own mind. Zalor, whispering to himself. Humans, here? But how? Dr. Oren, standing beside him, stares at the COMM screen with wide eyes, her breath caught in her throat. This moment is beyond anything she could have imagined. A rescue from humans, in the farthest reaches of space. It is beyond logic, beyond expectation. Dr. Oren, softly. "We never expected this." The room is charged with an electricity that was absent just moments ago. The crew, once resigned to their fate, now finds themselves at the precipice of salvation. A rescue that, until moments ago, had seemed impossible. The COMM system hums once again, and Zalor, with a newfound strength, presses the button to respond. His voice, though still strained, carries the weight of gratitude and urgency. Zalor, with renewed strength. "We read you, Valiant Horizon. Our situation is critical. Please, hurry." His voice carries with it a new energy, a spark of life that had long been absent. The survivors, weakened by days, no, cycles of deprivation, now feel the flicker of a promise. Salvation is no longer a dream, but a possibility. The astral Voyager, once a ship of ambition and scientific exploration, now becomes the scene of an unexpected miracle. The humans, with all their flaws and unpredictability, have come to offer a hand when none was expected. Zalor feels a weight lifting from his shoulders, the oppressive silence of space finally giving way to a newfound hope. His people, his crew, have been saved not by their own, but by the very species that had once been dismissed as unworthy of the stars. And in that, Zalor realizes something profound: the strength of the galaxy's future may not lie in the old powers, but in the unexpected. The humans have just shown them that even the smallest spark can ignite the greatest of fires. Aboard the Valiant Horizon, a sense of urgency fills the air. The ship hums steadily, the crew moving with practiced precision, their every motion a testament to years of experience. They are preparing for what feels like a final mission, and each person knows the gravity of the moment. Outside the ship, space stretches endlessly, cold and indifferent. But inside, the atmosphere is charged with purpose. The astral Voyager, once a proud symbol of Zendhari achievement, now floats lifeless in the void, battered and broken. Its hull is worn, scarred from the years of struggle. The valiant Horizon docks with it, the sound of the docking mechanism a harsh reminder of the fragile connection between the two ships. The airlock hisses as it cycles open, and the humans step forward, moving with a determination born of necessity. As the valiant Horizon docks with the astral Voyager, the crew moves swiftly, each step taken with the urgency of those who know time is running out. The airlock opens, and the humans flood into the darkened corridors of the alien ship. Their boots echo in the cold silence, and the once vibrant walls of the astral Voyager seem to shudder at their presence. The crew works quickly and efficiently, their faces a mixture of exhaustion and resolve. Captain Caden Miles leads the way, his gaze focused and unwavering as he directs his team. The Zendhari survivors, weakened by their ordeal, are assisted with quiet care, their frailty evident in their movements. Each person who enters the airlock is a reminder of the deep suffering they have endured. Zalor watches as his crew, some of them too weak to stand, are carefully guided toward safety. A young technician, her body trembling with fatigue, is lifted by a human officer and carried gently toward the airlock. Zalor, his mind still clouded with disbelief, struggles to process the sight before him. Zalor, whispering to himself, "We were left to die, but they came for us." For Zalor, the sight before him is almost surreal. His people, once proud, self-sufficient, and full of ambition, had been abandoned by their own government. Now, it is the humans, a species so new to the stars, who are showing them what true heroism looks like. These humans, who had never been expected to become entangled in galactic affairs, are displaying something far more important than advanced technology: compassion, courage, and the willingness to act when others would simply wait for death. Zalor continues to watch, his eyes wide with a mix of disbelief and gratitude. He's seen the cruelty of the galaxy, the indifference of power, and the coldness of isolation. Yet here, in this moment, he sees something different, something he thought his people had long forgotten. The last of the Zendhari crew members are escorted through the airlock, and Zalor stands at the threshold, reluctant to leave behind the ship that had been his home. His heart weighs heavy with a sense of loss, but there is something else now, something unfamiliar stirring within him. The astral Voyager, once a vessel of discovery and pride, now sits abandoned in the dark emptiness of space. Its systems have failed, its life support a memory, and its crew, those who could not be rescued in time, are lost forever. Zalor pauses, his eyes lingering on the ship that had carried him through so many years of exploration, uncertainty, and triumph. For the first time in what feels like forever, Zalor turns away from the astral Voyager. His gaze lingers, heavy with the weight of memories, good and bad, that will remain forever tied to that ship. He had served aboard her for over a decade, discovering the mysteries of the galaxy, fighting for his people's future. Now, all that remains is a ghost ship, drifting alone in the void. Zalor slowly walks toward the airlock, but before stepping inside the valiant Horizon, he glances one last time at the astral Voyager. His eyes soften, and for a brief moment, there is a flicker of something deeper: sorrow, regret, and perhaps a glimmer of hope. Zalor, softly, to himself, "We were abandoned, but perhaps we are not alone anymore." As he steps onto the valiant Horizon, the door closes behind him with a soft hiss. The humans around him move with purpose, securing the last of the survivors, offering quiet nods of acknowledgement. Their actions are swift, yet there is a gentleness to their movements. Zalor can't help but feel the warmth of gratitude stir within him, something he thought he had long lost. Zalor's heart, once weighed down by the loss of his people's fate, now carries something new: hope. The humans had given them a second chance, something his own people had refused to offer. As the airlock sealed behind him, the astral voyager, now nothing more than a silent wreck, was left behind. Its final echoes faded into the abyss of space, a tomb for those who never made it. Zalor steps forward, taking his place among the human crew. He looks around the bustling bridge, the hum of life filling the air once again. The survivors, though weakened, have found new strength. And Zalor, for the first time in cycles, feels a sense of purpose ignite within him. Perhaps, for the first time in their long journey, the Zendhari had found something greater than the mysteries of the galaxy. They had found the unexpected kindness of a species who refused to leave anyone behind. As the crew of the Valiant Horizon moves with new purpose, the ship hums with renewed life. Zalor's gaze lingers on the faces of those around him, humans and Zendhari alike. He may have once doubted their capacity for compassion, but now he knows better. They are united in a cause greater than survival, and together, they will face the galaxy's challenges with hope. In this scene, Zalor's inner conflict and the weight of his people's fate are explored with deep emotional resonance. The atmosphere is charged with the transformation of both the Zendhari and the humans, with the weight of their shared journey and the bond forged through adversity. The hum of the ship's systems fills the air aboard the Valiant Horizon, a steady and mechanical rhythm that stands in sharp contrast to the tension hanging thick in the air. The Zendhari survivors are scattered in a quiet corner of the ship, some resting, others receiving medical attention, each one grappling with the reality of their survival. They are physically broken, yet there is something in their eyes, a flicker of gratitude, perhaps, or the shadow of loss that lingers in the silence between them. But for Commander Zalor, there is no respite. The weight of their past mission presses heavily on his shoulders, suffocating him in the moments of stillness. Captain Caden Miller, standing at a distance, watches him with quiet curiosity, respect tempered with the awareness of the burden Zalor carries. Zalor, still weak but with a fire burning deep in his gaze, slowly rises from the bed where he has been resting. His body, once strong and vibrant, now bears the marks of exhaustion. His scales, dull and lifeless, no longer gleam with the brilliance they once did, but his eyes, they carry something else. They carry the weight of a truth that is finally ready to be spoken. As the astral voyager drifts further into the void, leaving behind the remnants of their former lives, Zalor feels the burden of something he can no longer carry in silence. The time to speak has come. The truth that has haunted them for so long, the truth that could shatter the very fabric of the galaxy, is ready to emerge from the shadows. Zalor's voice, low and heavy, fills the space between him and Captain Miller. Each word seems to weigh him down further, like he's finally unloading the immense burden he's been carrying alone. Zalor, quietly, yet firm. "We found something, Captain. Something that could change everything. I didn't fully understand it at first, not until we uncovered more. But now, I am certain. It's not just new technology. It's power. Knowledge. A force that could shift the very balance of the galaxy." Zalor's hand trembles slightly as he reaches beneath his tunic. He places a small, crystal container on the table between them. Its surface is smooth, otherworldly, its faint glowing symbols seem to pulse with an ancient energy, resonating softly in the room, as if alive with secrets waiting to be revealed. The artifact gleams softly under the dim light, its strange symbols seeming to hum with power. Its very presence demands attention. Beautiful, yet dangerous, it is the heart of their mission, the discovery that could undo everything they have known. Captain Miller watches the artifact closely, his curiosity now laced with wariness. The room is still, the tension palpable as he leans in, studying the object before him. Captain Miller, leaning in. "Sabotage? Why would anyone want to stop your mission?" Zalor closes his eyes briefly, collecting himself before speaking again. His voice grows softer, tinged with something darker, anger. "Yes, but also a deep, resigned understanding of the forces that stand against them. Zalor, softly, yet with a sharp edge. Because what we found threatens the very foundation of galactic power. The technology, it's unlike anything the Council has ever seen. It's beyond their control. It would change everything they've built, everything they've kept hidden for millennia. His words land heavily in the room, filling the silence with the weight of their meaning. He looks at Miller, his eyes intense with the gravity of the revelation. The truth begins to settle over them, heavy and undeniable. The galaxy built on secrecy and hidden power now faces a fracture, a revelation that could unravel everything. The Galactic Council, once an unchallenged authority, has long controlled the galaxy with its knowledge and technology. But this discovery could destroy their stranglehold. Zalor's voice drops to a whisper, as if sharing something sacred, something that could never be unsaid. Zalor, whispering, with resolve. We believe the Galactic Council has known about this technology for centuries. They've kept it buried, hidden, suppressed. They ensure no one species rises above the others. Their power lies in the control of knowledge. And now, we have uncovered something that could shatter that control. Captain Miller, brow furrowed, digests the gravity of Zalor's words. His mind races as he considers the implications, the dangers they now face. Captain Miller, with a furrowed brow. So, someone wants to stop you from sharing this. Zalor's expression darkens, his gaze hardening as he nods slowly. The weight of the reality sinks in, the full enormity of the situation now clear. Zalor, grimly. Yes. Someone tried to silence us. They wanted us to die in this empty corner of space, with our discovery lost to the void. But now, I fear they will come for us again. They will stop at nothing to keep this secret buried. And so, the truth begins to unfold. A truth that could alter the course of the galaxy forever. A secret, hidden by those who have always controlled knowledge, a secret that could bring an end to the Council's reign. What Zalor's crew uncovered wasn't just about exploration, it was about unraveling the fabric of power itself. The artifact, pulsing with energy, sits between them. The truth that it holds now carries a weight too great to ignore. Zalor's mission was never just about exploration, it was always about uncovering the force that could rewrite the galaxy's future. A force that would disrupt the very foundations of the Galactic Council. And now, the truth is in their hands. The gravity of the situation fills the room. The galaxy is on the brink of a revolution, one driven not by force, but by the power of hidden knowledge, now exposed. And with it, the stakes have never been higher. Aboard the Valiant Horizon, the mood is thick with tension. The ship hums with an urgency that mirrors the racing pulse of its crew. Inside, the control room is alive with activity, each crew member working frantically, knowing that their every action could mean the difference between life and death. Their eyes are glued to the tactical display, calculating their every move. The vast emptiness of space outside is calm, almost indifferent to the storm building inside the ship. Just as the crew of the Valiant Horizon thought they had found salvation, the silence of space, which had once been a companion to their solitude, is now shattered by a new and far more menacing presence. The Zendhari military, the very people they had once trusted, have arrived. With them, they bring a fleet of warships, dark and unyielding against the backdrop of the starless black. The Zendhari warships are more than just a threat, they are the embodiment of a race that has refused to relinquish its control. Each ship, vast and imposing, presses forward through the void, determined to erase all who stand in the way of the old order. The warships, like ancient predators, loom larger and larger on the edge of their sensors. Their hulking forms are surrounded by a swirling, crackling cloak of energy, their weapons primed and ready to fire. The sheer size of their dreadnoughts fills the screen, dwarfing the valiant horizon, and casting long shadows that creep ever closer. The Zendhari warships move with chilling deliberation, a reminder of a once proud empire's unshakable hold on the galaxy. As the ships close in, the crew aboard the valiant horizon finds themselves trapped between an unforgiving past and an uncertain future. On the bridge, Captain Caden Miller stands resolute, his face set with determination. He feels the weight of every decision, now every second counting, as he watches the distance between them and the warships steadily dwindle. His crew moves swiftly, each action precise and swift, preparing for the battle that might come. Captain Miller, focused, grim. We need to act fast. We can't outrun them in a direct confrontation, but there's something we can do. Prepare the sensor ghost protocol. His voice is calm, but beneath it lies an urgency that makes the air around him crackle with tension. The sensor ghost protocol, a risky and experimental maneuver, designed to create false readings of the ship's location, could be their only chance. Still in its early stages, it is their last hope to throw off the pursuing Zendhari warships. The room goes quiet as the crew holds their breath, each one watching as the protocol is initiated. The ship's systems hum to life with an electric buzz, sending out multiple false signals that scatter across space. Captain Miller, firmly, to his crew. Activate the ghost protocol now. We need enough confusion to break their lock. Once we do, we make our move. Prepare for maximum thrust. As the Zendhari warships close in, their weapons systems hum ominously, preparing for a strike. But in that critical moment, the valiant horizon's decoy signals begin to distort their scanners, creating confusion among the enemy. The hesitation is brief, but it is enough to give the valiant horizon a fleeting chance to escape. The ship lurches into action, its engines roaring with newfound strength. The air vibrates with the intensity of the acceleration as the valiant horizon shoots forward, its path twisting and darting toward the asteroid field in the distance. The valiant horizon accelerates with all the speed it can muster, weaving between the looming shadows of asteroid debris. The massive Zendhari warships, slow and lumbering, break formation in pursuit of the scattered decoys, but the valiant horizon has gained precious distance, just enough to give them a fighting chance. The ship's systems are pushed to the limit, and the crew moves with machine-like precision. Each person knows that the stakes have never been higher, their hearts pounding as their lives and the lives of those they've sworn to protect depend on each choice they make. Through the chaos of their escape, the valiant horizon dances between the rocks, each maneuver a calculated risk. The warships, heavy and slow, are losing their grip on their prey. The asteroid field, once a lifeless graveyard, now offers them cover, though it comes at the price of precision. One of the Zendhari ships fires a barrage of energy blasts, the blasts missing by mere meters as the valiant horizon races between the looming rocks. Each near miss has the crew holding their breath, their nerves raw with every twist and turn. Captain Miller, shouting. Keep moving. Don't let them get a lock on us. Each second brings them closer to safety, but there is no time for relief. The Zendhari warships still follow, their weapons firing erratically as the asteroid field warps their sensors. The valiant horizon pushes on, the chase not over yet, but the distance between them growing ever wider. A sharp jolt shakes the ship as the valiant horizon twists and dives, narrowly avoiding another blast. The asteroid field has become both their shield and their prison. The Zendhari warships, once confident in their pursuit, now struggle to lock onto their target. They fire wildly, but the valiant horizon is nimble, darting through the field with desperate agility. It's a race against time, against the odds, and the valiant horizon refuses to back down. The ship plunges toward the radiation belt of a gas giant, where the presence of heavy plasma clouds offers a final, risky refuge. With a radiation belt of the gas giant ahead, Captain Miller makes the call. The Valiant Horizon dives into the dense cloud of radiation, its signature masked by the swirling plasma. The Zendhari warships, unable to follow, pause in confusion, their sensors blinded by the thick veil of the gas giant's radiation. The weight of their survival hangs in the air as they navigate the final stretch. The crew, once paralyzed with fear, now pushes forward with the conviction of those who know what it means to survive. The Valiant Horizon has escaped for now. But the battle is far from over. They have made their move, and for the first time, the Zendhari warships have faltered. In the shadow of the gas giant, the crew of the Valiant Horizon stands on the precipice of something larger. The journey ahead will be filled with danger and uncertainty, but they have survived the first hurdle. And now, the real fight begins. The Valiant Horizon moves through the asteroid field, the hum of the engines filling the ship with a tense energy. The massive rocks and debris whiz past in the deep void of space, their jagged shapes like ancient sentinels watching the ship slip through their midst. The crew is still reeling from their close call with the Zendhari warships, but there is no time to linger on the danger. The reality of what they've discovered, and what they must now do with it, looms heavy over them all. Inside the Valiant Horizon, there is a sense of purpose that drives the crew forward. The previously frantic energy has shifted to a quieter, more intense focus. Captain Caden Miller stands at the command center, his eyes scanning the readouts on the tactical display. He presses his fingers to the console, swiftly issuing orders to his crew. The weight of their escape from the Zendhari is still fresh, but they know this is only the beginning. Against all odds, the Valiant Horizon has escaped the grasp of the Zendhari warships, but this is no longer about simply surviving. The discovery they've made, the knowledge they now carry, is far too powerful to be kept hidden. And it is a knowledge that could ignite a revolution that will shake the very foundation of the galaxy. Captain Miller's jaw tightens as he looks over the map of the galaxy displayed on the table in front of him. His crew is no longer simply escaping, they are preparing for what is to come. The knowledge that they now possess could change everything, but they can't do it alone. They need allies, others who have suffered under the Council's grip for far too long. Captain Miller, calm but urgent. We've escaped for now, but we can't run forever. We have the truth, and with it, we have the power to change everything. But we need help. We need to form an alliance, a coalition. If we're going to challenge the Galactic Council, we need to build strength in numbers. As he speaks, his crew begins to rally. The once disparate species aboard the Valiant Horizon now share a common purpose. Their faces reflect not just resolve, but the understanding of the heavy task that lies ahead. Seraphin Dawn, the chief engineer, looks at the map with narrowed eyes, calculating their next steps. Seraphin Dawn, determined. We can't do this alone. The Fraxians, the Tyani, the Nor Collective, they've all suffered under the Council's control. They will join us. We just need to offer them what they've never had before, the freedom to rise, to progress. Next to her, First Officer Ryan Weber taps his fingers against the table, deep in thought. He glances over the holographic map, considering their options. Ryan Weber, thoughtfully. We have an edge now, thanks to the Zendhari artifacts. But announcing it to the galaxy will get us killed before we even get started. We need to move quietly, build trust in secret. We can't just rush into this, we need to choose the right allies. Captain Miller listens to the voices of his crew, his mind racing with the possibilities and risks. He knows the fight ahead won't be easy, but it's a fight worth fighting. He looks at the holographic map once more, his finger tracing the lines that could bind together the fractured galaxy. Captain Miller, resolutely. I'm not talking about a full-scale rebellion, not yet. We start small, make connections, build trust. We form a covered alliance, one based on shared goals, shared knowledge. We need to be ready, and when the time comes, we strike hard. Behind him, Commander Zalor stands, his posture a little more relaxed than before. His once proud figure has softened, the weight of his people's suffering heavy on his shoulders. But the alliance that is now forming gives him a glimmer of hope. The Zendhari will not go down without a fight. Zalor, quietly but with intensity. The Zendhari are the only ones who long for freedom. The Tayani Republic, the Fraxians, they've been oppressed for centuries. They will listen to us, but we must tread carefully. There are still factions within the Zendhari loyal to the Council, those who would see us dead before we even start. Zalor's warning hangs in the air, a stark reminder that even in their moment of victory, danger still lurks. The Zendhari military, once the heart of the Council's power, now stands as a threat to the very rebellion they've helped ignite. But Zalor, now united with the humans, knows that the fight they are about to wage is far greater than just his people's survival. It is about the future of the galaxy itself. A moment of silence passes as everyone considers the weight of the task ahead. The holographic map pulses softly, connecting systems and factions, pathways to a future where the Council's power no longer holds sway. Captain Miller surveys the room, his gaze steady as he looks from officer to officer, feeling the gravity of their decision. Captain Miller, with quiet resolve. We form the first steps of an alliance not just of nations, but of species, united against a common enemy. The Galactic Council has kept us in the dark for too long. It's time for that to change. The first steps of the rebellion are taken. In the shadows, the alliance begins to take form. The Valiant Horizon may have been the spark, but it is the hearts of those who join it, humans and Zendhari alike, that will determine whether this fire burns brightly, or fades into the void. The tension in the room is palpable, but so is the sense of unity. They are no longer just survivors. They are the core of something much larger. The first steps of a galaxy-changing rebellion have been taken, and now the path ahead is clear. With the knowledge they carry, the fight for a new future has begun. In the stillness of a secret station hidden deep within a remote asteroid field, a new rebellion is quietly taking shape. The station is small, but its significance cannot be overstated. Inside, the air is thick with secrecy, and the hum of quiet activity is the only sound that breaks the silence of space. The walls pulse with soft, intermittent lights, and the flickering shadows cast an eerie atmosphere over the room where a group of unlikely allies has gathered. Captain Caden Miller, Commander Zalor, and their trusted allies sit around a large table, each face marked by the gravity of the decisions they are about to make. The map in front of them shows the galaxy, its systems, its trade routes, and the delicate web of alliances they hope to weave. There's a tremor of uncertainty in the air, but also something else, resolve. A sense that they are on the brink of something bigger than themselves. Zalor, once a symbol of pride for the Zendhari, now sits with his posture stiff, his eyes heavy with the weight of the truth he carries. His people had once stood at the forefront of scientific discovery, but now, they are hunted by those who had once been their allies, the Galactic Council. He turns his gaze to the humans seated around him, his heart both heavy and hopeful. His people had been abandoned, left to die in the cold void of space, but now, here they are united in a cause. Vexile, with a steady voice, but heavy with warning. If we do this, if we reveal the truth of what we've discovered, the Council will come after us. There is no question. They will stop at nothing to erase us. We must be ready, all of us, for whatever comes next. His words hang in the air like a warning. The weight of the Zendhari's history, their once unshakable position in the galaxy, presses down on them all. Zalor knows better than anyone the lengths the Council will go to protect their secrets. Vexil's words are a reminder of the price they'll have to pay for defying the power that has ruled for millennia. Vexil's warning stirs a deep unease in the room. The Zendhari once walked the halls of power. Now, they find themselves at the mercy of a galaxy that has turned its back on them. But despite the looming threat, there is no turning back. The knowledge they've uncovered is too powerful to remain hidden. It is a knowledge that could free not just the Zendhari, but every species oppressed under the Council's rule. Captain Miller stands up, the weight of Vexil's words settling into the pit of his stomach. He knows the risks, but there's no turning back. The fire that has fueled their journey burns stronger now than ever before. He looks at the faces of his crew, humans and Zendhari alike, and the sense of unity in the room is palpable. They are no longer just a group of survivors, they are a force that could change the course of the galaxy. Captain Miller, with quiet confidence. We've come too far to turn back now. The Council thinks they control the galaxy, but they are wrong. We've learned things that could change everything. We can't let them bury it. We won't. The air thickens with the weight of his words. The stakes are higher than ever, and the battle they face is one that will shape the galaxy for generations to come. It's not just about survival anymore. It's about something greater, a future where no one species controls the flow of knowledge, where the truth is no longer hidden away, locked behind the walls of power. The stakes have never been higher. The Council, with its vast reach and influence, has held the galaxy in a vice grip for centuries. They've controlled the flow of information, technology, and power. But now, a new alliance has formed, a coalition united by forbidden knowledge and a common goal to see the Council's reign come to an end. Zalor rises from his seat, his voice steady but filled with a newfound fire. He knows the Zendhari's role in this fight is critical, but for the first time, his people stand not alone, but as part of something greater. The fear of retribution from the Council still lingers in his heart, but so does the conviction that this is the right path. Zalor, with newfound conviction. We have the technology, we have the knowledge, and we have the will. The Zendhari will fight alongside you, Captain Miller. And together, we will build an alliance, one that will no longer bow to the Council's rule. The weight of his words is felt by everyone in the room. They all understand that what they are starting is bigger than any one species or ship. The holographic map before them pulses, showing potential allies, systems, and routes that could help them move to the next phase of their plan. The galaxy, once divided, is now beginning to unite. And so, the first steps are taken. The rebellion has begun. The valiant Horizon and its crew may have sparked the fire, but it is the hearts of those who join them, Zendhari and human alike, that will determine whether this fire burns brightly or fades into the void. The room falls silent for a moment, each person absorbed in the weight of their decision. The light from the hologram flickers and dims, but the resolve in their eyes remains bright. This is no longer just a meeting, it is a turning point in the history of the galaxy. As the final words hang in the air, the sense of unity that has formed in that room begins to take root in the galaxy. The battle they are about to wage is one that will require more than just strength, it will require trust, cooperation, and the willingness to defy the very powers that have held the galaxy in chains for so long. The ships of the new alliance, a coalition forged in the fires of struggle, move through the expanse of space. Once divided by old conflicts, species from across the galaxy now sail together under a single banner. Their shapes vary, some sleek and modern, others older and battered, but they move together with purpose, as if guided by a shared, unspoken resolve. The galaxy is changing. The old order, once so secure, is beginning to fracture. For centuries, the Galactic Council held its iron grip over the stars, controlling everything from knowledge to power. But now, a new era is dawning. What was once thought impossible is becoming a reality. Humanity, once considered nothing more than newcomers, has become the spark that ignites a fire of revolution, a revolution built on cooperation, shared knowledge, and the courage to stand against the darkness. Among them, the tiny Hope, a smaller vessel marked by the symbols of many species, leads the way, a shining emblem of unity. The hull reflects the soft starlight, displaying the power of collaboration and the promise of a new future. The valiant Horizon, proud and unyielding, moves alongside the Zendhari ships. Once a symbol of their military might, now those ships stand as companions in a much larger cause. For Vexile, the Zendhari commander, the sight before him is almost surreal. He stands on the bridge of the valiant Horizon, watching as ships from countless worlds move in unison. The astral Voyager, now a relic of a past filled with grief, sails side by side with the valiant Horizon. The once proud Zendhari fleet, reduced to a handful of vessels, now fights for something greater than survival. They fight for the galaxy itself. Vexile gazes out, his eyes filled with disbelief and wonder. His once vibrant blue scales shimmer faintly as he stands, watching this new dawn unfold before him. He turns to Captain Caden Miles, who stands beside him. The room is filled with quiet determination, each person aboard the valiant Horizon understanding that this is a turning point in the galaxy's history. Vexile, softly, with a hint of admiration. Your people have a strange way of seeing the universe. But perhaps you're right. It's time for something new. Captain Miller, with quiet determination. It's time for something new, Commander. The old ways are broken. It's our turn now. And so, the new era begins. The foundation for a galaxy-wide alliance, forged in the crucible of struggle and sacrifice, is laid. What once seemed impossible, a union of species once divided by fear, suspicion, and centuries of conflict, is now a reality. The knowledge, the technologies, the secrets that have long been hidden from the galaxy are now in the hands of those brave enough to see them for what they are, a path to a better future. The fleet moves steadily toward the horizon. The starlight flickers across their hulls, each ship a symbol of hope, of a new future being born. As the ships move forward together, the camera focuses on the tiny Hope, a new hope for the galaxy. The tiny Hope leads the way, its hull a living testament to the unity forged between the people of the galaxy. With each ship that joins the fleet, the power of the Galactic Council weakens. The alliances are no longer just a dream, they are becoming a movement that cannot be stopped. The time of isolation, of keeping secrets and controlling knowledge, is over. The camera shifts upward, revealing the vast expanse of space, stretching out in front of them like an endless canvas. The stars, once distant and cold, now shine with a new brilliance, each one a beacon of potential. The future is unwritten, but it is no longer shaped by the oppressive hands of those who would control it. The galaxy has begun to turn, slowly at first, but with undeniable momentum. And at the heart of this movement is the simple truth that has always driven humanity: no one should be left behind. The fleet moves forward into the unknown, leaving the shadows of the past behind. The ships, united and strong, continue their journey, lighting up the vast emptiness with their newfound purpose. The revolution has begun, and with it, the galaxy is reborn. The fleet continues toward a brighter future, as the light of the stars grows brighter with each passing moment. The camera fades as the ships vanish into the distance, their lights twinkling like stars in the night sky, the promise of a new era guiding them into the future. The once dominant, oppressive silence of space now begins to carry a different weight, one of change. The fleet of ships, diverse and united, floats toward the unknown, an alliance forged in the fires of shared struggle. The stars, once distant and indifferent, seem to shine brighter now, as though they are bearing witness to the transformation occurring. Each ship moves with purpose, the coalition of species carrying with them the dreams and hopes of those who have long been silenced under the yoke of control. The galaxy, vast and beautiful, stretches endlessly before them. It is full of possibilities. The Alliance, once thought impossible, is now a force that will reshape the very fabric of this universe. For the first time, those who have been oppressed, forgotten, and dismissed are united by a singular truth: the galaxy no longer belongs to the few, it belongs to all. Sometimes, the smallest spark can ignite the biggest changes. In the deepest silence, a profound shift begins, one that no one can ignore. The quiet hum of the universe grows more potent, resonating with the hum of ships that once would have been adversaries, now working in tandem. This is the spark that began with a simple human principle, a principle that has transcended species, cultures, and centuries of isolation. And in the cold depths of space, a human principle, never leave anyone behind, has now become the foundation of a new galactic order. The words carry weight. They hang in the air, slowly settling into the hearts of those who hear them. The silence that once enveloped the galaxy is now filled with the promise of something different: unity, hope, and a future where no one stands alone. This new order will rise from the ashes of the old, where every species, regardless of size, strength, or history, stands on equal ground. In the stillness, a flicker of light appears in the distance. At first, it is barely perceptible, a subtle change in the void. But it grows, brighter and brighter, until it fills the space around it. This is the symbol of hope, of unity, of everything that has been set into motion. It is the beginning of something grand, something new, something that cannot be undone. The revolution has begun. And as the words echo in the void, a single star bursts into brilliance, a beacon for all to see, signaling the dawn of a new era. The weight of the message lingers in the silence, and with it, the knowledge that everything has changed. The screen slowly fades to black, but the change remains, a change that will reshape the galaxy for eons to come. As the universe continues to unfold, remember this: sometimes, the smallest spark can ignite the biggest changes. Humanity's greatest power lies not in the weapons we wield or the ships we command, but in the unshakable principle of never leaving anyone behind. What will be the next chapter in the journey for the galaxy? Drop your thoughts, theories, and questions in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring. The adventure is just beginning here at HFY Galaxies.